All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is former New York hotel employee says migrants ruined rooms. There's long-term damage. Let's go and check it out. Yeah, most likely. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of the people that are coming in through the migrant crisis, they're coming from countries that are somewhat impoverished, right? There are different standards. In fact, okay, not trying to be disrespectful here or anything like that, but there are in fact different standards of living. Okay, if you put them in the middle of a fancy New York City hotel, what exactly were you expecting here, guys? All right.
Okay, I'm going to move on from this because it's a very important day, and that was a very important moment, I think. Staying on the issue of voters, the border, and migrants, there are about 680 hotels in New York City. 135 of them are reportedly operating as migrant shelters. One of those hotels is the Row Hotel, where Carlos Arellano used to work.
Guys, let's go ahead and see how much the Row costs to stay at per night.
Carlos joins me now. You tell me, how do hotels make money from these migrants? Tell me.
The government.
Well, they charge the city, the taxpayer. They charge them double. You know, people think you're just paying for the room, but you're paying for the staff members. You walk into one of these hotels, and depending on how far you get, you can see a table of 10 staff members. But out of those 10 staff members, only 2 of them are really working. And the other 8 that are there, they're just hanging around, not doing the thing. And when I used to work there, I used to say, why do I need 10 people when I have 2 people only working? I need to get rid of some of these people. And the excuse was always the contract requires this many people. And it requires that many people, 10 of them, because they want to charge the city more from the taxpayer funds.
Of course.
They upcharge anything they can. You know, if they say, oh, we're going to offer them homeschool teachers for the migrants who don't want to go send their kids to public school, the hotel's going to charge it to the city twice as much. So they find any little excuse to charge more money inside.
Of course.
What's the condition of these hotels now from the inside? How are they being, I hate to say trashed, but are they in good condition or not?
Oh, no, they're ruined. They're never going to be what they once were. And that's why they keep renewing the contracts, because they don't want anyone to go in there and see what
looks like now
damage they've done to this place long term.
And guys, really quickly, let's stop for a second here. All right, so apparently the last time the Row was even allowed to be stayed at, it had a rating of 8 out of 10. Okay, so it was a solid hotel, I would say, specifically for Manhattan. Cost per night here says $335 is a cost per night of the Row Hotel when it was open. Currently, it is listed as temporarily closed. The ranking has dropped pretty drastically to 3.6, with 10,000 people voting on this place here. 3.6. Yeah, this hotel is done. But it makes all the sense in the world that you would allow the government to basically pay you, because they're going to pay you double the price of whatever the room was, right? It makes all the sense. Now everything kind of falls into the picture here. You wonder why the migrant crisis is costing Manhattan so much money. Is because, just as expected, there's waste. And yeah, they're going to double charge the government for it. They're ruining your hotel. So you might as well just get the money from the taxpayers while you can, right?
Every other week, there was power outages at the Row on the floor 23. So I used to go to work, and they would say, you have 5 floors without electricity, go figure it out. And we would be without electricity because it would be 5 floors of illegal migrants wanting to plug in air fryers into their rooms. So can you just do the math, 5 floors worth of people. Right. There's 5,000 people in this hotel spread across 28 floors. You have 5 floors trying to plug in air fryers. It's going to short circuit the electrical wires.
And there's 135 hotels in New York City which house migrants. There are 680 hotels altogether. 135 of them are just for migrants. That's not going to change, is it?
No. Why would it change? Like, if I feel like we should all get together, crowdfund a hotel, right? Because it sounds like it's big money up there, guys. It sounds like it's big business. What we should all do, crowdsource. We buy a hotel, and then we just double charge the government, because apparently that's just the way things are going these days, and apparently it's okay because they're paying it, right? That is absolutely crazy.
Oh no, because the last thing I've been hearing when I've been out talking to migrants at the border is they tell each other, they coordinate, they tell each other, make sure your hearing, your asylum hearing is in New York, because in New York,
they'll give you
there's
the most.
judges who lean a certain way that will give you more time. If you put your court hearing in Texas, you're going to screw yourself over. So they tell each other, leave your court hearing in New York.
What?
Claim your free hotel once you get there.
This is expected,
and then come back to Texas. Because if you do it in Texas, it's not going to go well for you.
You're not going to get it.
So they coordinate with each other, telling each other, go to New York, go to Chicago, go to Denver. So this is not going to stop anytime soon.
Carlos Azulano, thank you for joining us and telling us the true picture here. We do appreciate it, Carlos. We'll see you again real soon. Thank you.
Guys, when it comes to Denver, like, Denver wants it. Right, and I've been saying a couple of times, you guys are getting, you're basically screaming at me in the comments. Why would you say they should all go to Denver? People that live in Denver, because your mayor wants it. Your mayor blatantly says, "Listen, he has no problem with this. We can handle this. Then handle it. Send every single migrant to Denver, then, if that's the case." But obviously, the judges are not being absolute. They're not being judges, are they? Right? If the case is not a valid asylum-seeking case, they should not be here. Economic migrancy is not a valid point here. I'm sorry. It's not valid, bro. It's not. And I think the judges know the difference, but they are kind of leaning to political pressures. The voters who voted them in, they're completely fine with it. They're leaning to political pressures and saying simply, hey, they could stay. They could stay because that's what my voters want. I mean, listen, bro, every single judge should be like the ones in Texas then, because it seems like the ones in Texas are like, listen, this is not asylum, so because this is not asylum, you need to leave. That's how that should be, period. All right, why are we the ones being taken advantage of by the world? All right, we cannot take the world's population. All right, we cannot take in how many, hold on, like we just cannot, what's the population of Venezuela? Because we can't take the entire population of countries. There are 28 million people in Venezuela. We can't take everyone, right? We can't. And of course, there are other countries that are also, hitting our border also, guys. It seems like everyone in Venezuela is running north. Don't get me wrong. We understand the political climate. We understand the inflationary events that have occurred in Venezuela. We understand that. Absolutely. But we just cannot take on 28 million people into any small area, right? New York City cannot take 28 million people. And even if we were to split that between New York and Chicago, we still can't take 14 million people. All right? It's too much, guys. It's too much. It's going to wreck every single city in the United States of America, and any major city, based off of every single bit of data that we have already seen regarding it. It's going to wreck the majority of our cities. If you live in these cities, leave. Right? Because I think it's probably time for them to receive less tax money, so there's less wasted money being thrown out into people that are just basically taking advantage of all of these cities. By the sounds of it, guys, because based on what this guy just said, they're having meetings before they even hit the border. Well, make sure you go to New York. Don't go to Texas. Right? If they give you an option, you need to get out of Texas as fast as humanly possible, because it's not going to work. Go to New York. Everything will be fine. Right, the people paying into the tax base are just going to pay for your life, guys. All right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly, guys. Before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.